Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2021-2022 Promotion and Tenure Information Session. I'm Tanya Smith-Jackson, Senior Vice Provost for Academic Affairs. I'm going to turn this over to the co-presenters and have them introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Shantae Hotnett, and I am the Communications Specialist for the Office of the Provost.
Hello, I'm Naya Ransom, Executive Assistant to Senior Vice Provost, Dr. Smith-Jackson.
So today's discussion, a lot of things are really aligned with our mission and vision. It's all about Aggies Do. So we're going to take a moment and talk about the concept of Aggies Do through this video.
Aggies research.
Aggies create.
Aggies design.
Aggies innovate.
Aggies win.
Aggies
Triumph.
Aggies do.
Fantastic. So today is all about how Aggies do, but specifically how Aggie faculty do. So let's talk a bit about what we're going to cover today, and then we'll move into the details. Naya?
Alrighty, so again, welcome to the Promotion and Tenure Information Session. In this session, we will discuss our mission statement and our commitment to excellence and what that looks like. We'll, of course, have an overview of promotion and tenure, covering terminology, the promotion and tenure timeline, and the overall process. We'll discuss best practices and common challenges, as well as the promotion and tenure SharePoint platform, and finally, contact information.
This is all about your own journey and your value proposition to North Carolina A&T State University. So it's all about the doing. You know, promotion and tenure is all about telling your story about what you've been doing to contribute to our excellence and our preeminence. Let's talk about our commitment, mission, and vision, and I'll turn that over to Naya and Shantae.
The mission of North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University advances knowledge through scholarly exchange and transforms society with exceptional teaching, learning, discovery, and community engagement. An 1890 land-grant doctoral research institution with a distinction in STEM and commitment to excellence in all disciplines, North Carolina A&T creates innovative solutions that address the challenges and economic needs of North Carolina, the nation, and the world.
And our vision is at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University is a preeminent land-grant institution where high-achieving scholars are engaged in transformative teaching and learning, civic outreach, and interdisciplinary research and innovative solutions to global challenges.
So what's the playbook for all of this? So as faculty, we have a playbook that really helps us to achieve this mission and vision at North Carolina A&T State University. Ultimately, it really is about student success. What is our value proposition in moving the needle on student success and making sure, again, that we achieve our preeminence and our excellence? There's a guide or a playbook that helps with that, and we call it the faculty handbook. You'll notice the path for the faculty handbook. You can find it under home, administration, legal affairs, approved policies, and then you're going to click on section 2, academic affairs. Section 2 really is inclusive of all things you need to know about promotion and tenure, about teaching, research, service, and excellence in all of those areas, shared governance, and so many other things. No matter what, it's very important that you take the time to make sure that you review the entire faculty handbook. What's in that handbook? Like I said, everything you need to know. But in particular, today, we're going to emphasize some things that relate to promotion and tenure that come from the faculty handbook. There are various sections that help to explain what our expectations are as you, of course, demonstrate Aggie commitment. So in the faculty handbook, I'm going to highlight Appendix C2 for this particular discussion. First of all, in C2, we have the criteria for the evaluation of faculty. Those criteria align directly with the vision of North Carolina A&T, which I've included here. You can read that again for yourself, but Shantae also shared the vision a moment ago. But specifically, the categories for achievement are teaching, research, and service, or also known as engagement. Excellence needs to be achieved in each of these particular categories. So when we talk about teaching, we're talking about how you conduct your classes, your competence in your own discipline or subject matter area, productive relationships with students. Teaching is also about making sure that you're transforming students, that you're inspiring students, that you're engaged in very positive ways as students matriculate through the university. Adequate teaching aids, using the updated technology to make sure that the teaching or the experience that students are having in their learning process is the best experience that we can provide at the time. So being up to date on technology, using Blackboard, using Zoom, videos, the best and greatest learning tools, that's really what's very important. And that's what we mean by teaching excellence. Under research, it really is about grants and publications. Have you been able to acquire grants so that you can support various projects that might relate to research or creativity? Publications in multiple ways, including journal publications, but also finding ways to disseminate information for public impact. Invited talks, anything that in your discipline is related to how you display your productivity in research. It might be performances, it might be theater and dramatic interpretations. It also, of course, might be things that you have designed in your laboratory and engineered. It might be patents and intellectual property. But generally, we need to also see that your research is being recognized, that it's not insular, that people know about it because they find it useful. Citations on Google Scholar, that's something else that's important. Professional society memberships. And one other thing that people often forget about when they're thinking of research excellence is how many students have you engaged in research? Students engaging in research are students who tend to be able to advance even further in their careers as students and also after matriculating through the university and after graduating. So one thing to note is that having undergraduates involved in research or whatever your creativity exercises are, that's crucial to their development. And also for graduate students, obviously supervising students, graduate students for their research. And then service and engagement, it's important to participate at the university. All those committees, when you're asked to be on a committee, whether it's a search committee or a committee to address something or a task force, it's important that you show your service commitment to the university and participate and actually be an active participator. And in addition to that, service to an engagement in the community, the local, the state, the national, all of those contributions are very important too as they relate to service and engagement excellence. Next slide. And then an overview of a few terms before we get into a general discussion then about promotion and tenure. When we're talking about promotion and tenure in general, just a larger category, we're really talking about two things. The first is reappointment, promotion, and tenure, which we refer to as RPT. And the other is post-tenure review, which we refer to as PTR. So under reappointment, promotion, and tenure, also known as RPT, this term is used to describe a process where you're reviewed in order for three things to happen. And sometimes it depends on any one of these three things. First, RPT means that you're being reviewed to continue in the same position. You're being reappointed into the same position. That will happen in your first year, your third year, and also in your fifth year after that. The second thing is that it's related to being promoted to the next rank. So as you know, professors have various ranks. New first-time professors come in as assistant professors. Then those assistant professors, after a review process, will become associate professors and then ultimately full professors. So being promoted to the next rank is also part of RPT. We've listed here too the various areas of RPT. So there's a first year that we call RPT 1, a third year review, RPT 2, and then promotion and tenure in general. When we use that term to refer to review process, it's when we are examining whether an assistant professor should move to the level of associate professor. So there's a promotion aspect and there's a tenure aspect. So those are really two decisions that have to be made. And it doesn't always go together. So many times people are promoted and tenured at the same time, but sometimes they're promoted but not tenured. There's a tenure only process then for those who are promoted but not tenured, or come in new without tenure, but they are an associate professor, for example. And then there's what we call on our in our promotion process, promotion and tenure process, we call what we refer to as promotion only, which you'll see on the web on our website. Promotion is when an associate professor wishes to be considered for promotion to full professor rank. So those are the areas. Now, there are elected committees who conduct the reviews for these applications. We call them RPT committees. You will have a RPT committee at the department level. You'll have one at the college level, and then there is a university-wide RPT committee. And the dean is also involved in making the recommendation. The chair is involved in the process, but doesn't have to submit a recommendation because chairs are part of RPT committees already. Now, the next one is under post-tenure review, and that's a term that we use for review for everyone every 5 years after tenure. So once you become an associate professor, you'll be reviewed every 5 years, whether you're associate, full, you're going to be reviewed every 5 years in order to determine whether or not you are being productive. So in the 5th year after tenure, and then every 5th year after that, you are reviewed for PTR. There are committees again at the department, college level, and the dean makes a recommendation. There are 2 performance review committees also, the department, the college, and then the chair is involved in a recommendation for PTR as well as the dean. Next slide. This process is, I don't want you to think of it as way too complicated. It is 12 things that need to occur. You don't have to do all of these things because some things are relevant to our office, some things are relevant to what the provost does, et cetera, et cetera. If you look at the calendars that you have already received, this is in step 1, the provost office releases calendars to deans. And in this case, this year, we released it around April 30th, 2021. Typically, we have to, have it released by May 1st of 2021. So by now, you should already have the calendars that are related to any of the RPT and PTR processes for this year. Deans should have shared those calendars with the chairs, and chairs share them with their departments. And then chairs, when they share the calendars with their departments, they notify the candidates who are up for review for that upcoming year. So if you're up for 2021, 2022, you should have already gotten a notification from your department chair. But also, these dates are on your hire letter if you're just recently hired and you're an assistant professor. But certainly your department, continues to keep a schedule anyway, so that people know when they're up, for example, for post-tenure review. The rest of this process, I won't really step through the whole process, but I just want to go down to step 12 just to say the chancellor ultimately provides recommendations then to the Board of Trustees. Some best practices to consider. Success begins on day 1. So productivity as a faculty member at North Carolina A&T is all about preeminence, of course. So you want to make sure that you are productive from the very beginning and not waiting for a review process or just before a review process to try to be productive. This is all about excellence and making sure we bring our best to the university every single day. Know the faculty handbook, very important. This is something that you should not just rely on your chair or your dean understanding and knowing the faculty handbook. Faculty handbook is part of shared governance. It is also provided by the Faculty Senate. So it's important for you to know what's in that handbook, is because you too are accountable for everything in the faculty handbook. Develop a 5-year plan with your department chair. That is policy. So you should already have if you're a continuing faculty member, you should already have a 5-year plan with your department chair. If you're a new faculty member coming in 2021, fall 2021, for example, first thing that you should be doing, unless you've already done it, because when I was chair, I would do it before the faculty member started on their first day, is if you haven't done it already, sit down with your chair and make sure you have a 5-year plan in place. That should be renewed or updated each year. Definitely be productive and document your productivity. So your curriculum vitae should constantly be updated. We have something called Degree Works. And for new faculty, make sure you talk to your chair about Degree Works, but you will be updating in Degree Works as frequently as possible. Annually, for any way to evaluate everybody within each department does their own evaluation. There should be faculty activity reports. You should understand that process, that you will be reporting every year what you do anyway. And then make sure that you have exhibits and evidence as documentation. You need to show what you've done. And then take advantage of your department's mentoring program or find a mentor. Your department may have formal mentoring programs in place already and may have set you up in a mentoring program, or find a mentor if you need one who can help you with being productive and certainly building a strong portfolio for promotion and tenure. Take advantage of all the services we offer on campus. We offer a lot of professional development. That's also part of your commitment to excellence and demonstrating that you're going to things like teaching workshops, research workshops, a lot of the seminars that we're having on campus. Those are very, very important. Participate in those and then use that as evidence that you have continued in professional development. And then, of course, there are external activities I'm sure that you will be doing with your professional societies. Engage in service to the university. That is sometimes something that people may overlook, but it is critical. I showed you teaching, research, and service. Excellence needs to be there for all three. So engage in service to the university. Volunteer, participate on committees, assist with assessment in your department. There are all kinds of things that you can do to contribute to the university. I'll turn this over now to Shante Hodnett, who's going to talk about that wonderful platform that we call SharePoint, which is what we use, the tool that we use to help us through this process and have you tell your story and share your portfolio. I'll turn it over to Shante.
Okay, so just like Dr. Smith-Jackson said, I'm going to quickly review the SharePoint platform for promotion and tenure. And so before I get into that, I'm going to briefly go over what you need to know. So I'm going to cover the important resources that are located on the homepage of the promotion and tenure site. I'm also going to quickly show you all where the calendars are located. And I'm going to review how to navigate the promotion and tenure site. So you all should have received a link to the promotion and tenure site, which will bring you to this homepage. And first off, the first thing you want to do when you come to this homepage is to read everything on the homepage. Okay, so reading is so fundamental, as you all know. So the first step is to look at the important resources located in the middle of the page. The first thing you'll see is the quick reference guide, which I'll click on to show you. This guide is very, very important. We've actually taken the time to not only show you or have screenshots of how you upload documents and navigate the site, but we have also shown you on this document near the end, I believe it's page 6, a description of each folder that I'll show you later. So if you have any questions about, well, where in the faculty handbook does it give more information about the department and college standards, or any other information on here? As you see, for example, chapter 5 highlights information about the department and college standards and why that is necessary. Or you can go into also research, that's in appendix C2. Also service and teaching is all explained in appendix C2. So that's why as mentioned before, it's so important to review your faculty handbook. So that's there. The application and forms that you'll need in order to apply or fill out your information for your dossier. So if you click here under official application and forms for review, will actually take you to the faculty resources page where all of that information is here. And so here's a quick link to the faculty handbook over here. Also under policies and promotion and tenure, we actually have the application for reappointment, promotion and tenure. So you can click on it and it opens as a Word document. We have for review committees, we have the recommendation form, and I'll actually open that for you to see. And so here, this is going to be very important for the review committees because it's everything you need, and this is actually required, okay? And so whatever committee level you are, let's say that you're the college committee, you would go to committee level, select your committee, so you're the college committee, and then you would fill out from there. So you'll see there's a 500 character max. We did that on purpose so that the recommend for your evaluations aren't too long, so they're very concise. And of course, you would see the voting and the signatures that are required to complete this form. And so we have a direct link to that, and you can just review all this information that's here for you. Okay, going back to the home page, here is a quick link again to the faculty handbook. It's so important. And also here's another quick link to the review committee form that I just showed you on the provost page for faculty resources. Now, please note that myself and Naya, we are here for technical support for the SharePoint site. So if you have any questions related to, hey, let's say, hey, you have a question about, well, what should I put in for the teaching folder, or what information should I put on my application? I receive those emails all the time, and please don't be offended when I bring you right here to the statement. Please contact your department chair or dean, excuse me. Please contact your department chairperson or dean. We are not able to answer those questions. And some of the questions I know the answers to just from experience. Naya may as well, she does as well. But just for best practice purposes, we are not able to answer those questions. And so anything outside of, I don't have access to my folder, we are not able to help you. So if you ask me, when's my application due? Please don't be offended when I tell you that it's on the website, okay? And I'm going to quickly show you where all of that information is as far as the calendar. So let's say you're going up for first reappointment. Every calendar is located within the folder that is supposed to be located in. So if you're going up for first reappointment, here's the calendar, RPT1 calendar. I'll go ahead and click on this so you can see it has in red when the deadline is due, when you need to upload your information, and all the other deadlines that you're going to need. Okay, so you know when the department chair committee or the department committee, the college committee will upload their information. So all of that's going to be there. Okay, and you even know when you have your final decision of whether or not you were able to move forward in the process. Okay. So again, please, anything outside of technical support, please contact your department chairperson or dean. So next, I'm gonna quickly show you all how to go about the process of uploading your information into a folder. So what I did for this example, I pretty much am just gonna go through this example that's in the quick reference guide. As you can see on page 2, I have Dr. James Doe as an example, and he is currently an associate professor here at North Carolina A&T. And so he's going to be applying to become a full professor, which means he will be under the category of promotion. I created a make-believe college and a make-believe department, so it's not going to be specific to anyone. So he is actually in the College of Health Professions, and his department is clinical laboratory science. So I'll show you how he would go about uploading his information in his portfolio. So he would come to the screen, he has the link. So he would come to the home page and he would click on promotion. And then he would find his college, which is College of Health Professions. And then his department, Clinical Laboratory Science. And then his actual folder is named after his username, his email. So it was J Doe. So here are all the folders that he will need in order to apply for promotion. So annual evaluations, applications, CV, and so on. Please be sure to upload your information in the correct folder. And also, this is something that's been an issue for review committees over the years. So I will say on their behalf to please do not create additional folders, okay? Please do not create additional folders. Please do not create additional folders. So only upload into the folders provided. Do not create additional folders within the folders. They don't prefer to have those extra folders to click on because please keep in mind that they have so many applicants to review that creating additional folders, it literally does slow them down. So please do not do that. And so in this example with Dr. James Doe, I will show you, let's say he wants to upload his application. All right, so he would just click on application and CV and go to upload at the top of the screen and click on files. And this will take him to his computer, to his browser, where he can either pull from his desktop or if he has a flash drive, and he can select the file and then it will be uploaded in this folder. And he will just repeat that process of uploading files for each folder. Okay, and that's pretty much all. That's as simple as it is. And so what I will do is go to the next slide, which will be Naya. She's going to actually talk about the challenges, some common challenges during this process.
But before that, so Shantae, should we create new folders?
Please do not create new folders.
Okay, I think we got it. Do not
They
create.
say you have to say things 3 times for people to remember. So
I
that's 4.
now.
Please do not. 5. Please do not create new folders.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Good deal. All righty. So moving forward into the common challenges. Before touching base on that, I'd like to make mention of a very important section in the faculty handbook, and that is Chapter 5, Section 3. This section provides an overview of the scope of review or overall scope of the review, detailing not only the professional qualifications, but also your collegiality and impact to the university. What will help to move the review process along smoothly and in a timely manner is using the folders to organize your materials. So like Shantae just exemplified, the folders are very literally labeled, and it's helpful to insert the appropriate information and appropriate materials within the corresponding folders. That way everything runs smoothly and we're able to access them as need be. A common challenge that I've noticed is differentiating the college and the department guidelines. We've noticed that some departments do not have guidelines and they only follow the guidelines of the college. So in that case, it's only necessary to upload your college guidelines. However, if your department has guidelines different than that of your college, it's necessary to upload both guidelines within both folders. Moving forward, clear evidence of performance. With that, of course, teaching evaluations are essential. Of course, student feedback is credible, but any evidence that is specific to your discipline. So that may look very different for some faculty. An example of that could be photos of artwork, exhibits, perhaps even a video, letters of invitation or letters of charge for committees you may have been involved in, any sort of papers or previous evaluations, sample photos, sample papers, anything like that could be tangible evidence proving your performance here at the university. Also, building your portfolio in advance. We definitely recommend any faculty going up for promotion and tenure to begin this process in advance, to begin accumulating those materials and those different evidence of your performance and using that in your uploads and not just waiting until the last minute, but overall
from the beginning to end, being able to accumulate those different materials. And of course, like we previously mentioned, having those conversations with your department chair and or mentors is essential when discussing anything in regard to your materials, information to upload, information to not upload. Those would be conversations for your dean or department chair. And again, thank you for viewing our promotion and tenure information session. Information in regard to policies or processes. Any questions in that regard, please contact Dr. Smith Jackson. She'd be happy to answer those questions. And like Shantae previously mentioned, any technical questions in regard to user support or technical questions for SharePoint platform, please contact Shantae and myself.
And I just wanted to reiterate then that, yes, Shantae and Naya will handle the technical questions, things about access or difficulties you might be having uploading something. But when it comes to policy, again, as Shantae reiterated, please, don't contact her, contact me. And I'm going to ask you actually, have you checked the handbook? And then also, have you had conversations with your chair for certain types of questions? But then there's some things I don't mind. I'll just say, oh, no, this is, basically what it does mean, and let me refer you to appendix B3 or whatever the situation is related to. So again, though, we're here to help you. We just want you to make sure you're directing your questions to the right people. And I want to thank you for your time also. And we're glad that we were able to do this information video. It will be accessible on the Aggie Hub. So we'll take this time to now say
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Aggies
Thank you
do
so much.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride. Bye.